Frieza crowd was vaguely familiar. I think I remember seeing this one in my childhood. Around this stage, this is the seventh episode of the ninth season of Arthur. Most episodes are new to me, I don't recall them, but this one I had a tiny recollection of, and it is a pretty good episode. It focuses on Prunella and Marina, and one day Prunella invites Marina to join her in the mornings with her mother when they're doing yoga practice. And Prunella's initially really excited that Marina agrees because she appreciates her best friend and wants to include her. But Marina is really good, and Prunella's mother is, of course, praising Marina for her abilities at yoga, and Prunella becomes really jealous. And she starts to worry that Marina is stealing her mother's attention, and she even begins to worry that her mother will start to look at Marina as a daughter and neglect Prunella as her daughter, which as a viewer you can kind of see is not what the mother is doing. The mother is not treating Marina as if she loves her more than Prunella. But it's understandable that if somebody steals the attention of somebody who's been giving you their sole attention, you might understandably begin to panic that they're starting to favour the other person. And Prunella kind of takes drastic action with this and has some bizarre but understandable behaviours. And ultimately, I won't say what happens, but I think her mother handled the situation perfectly. And I think it was the right thing to do, and I think it gave us some really good messages, both for the young viewer watching it, and if any parents happen to be watching it with them. From Penella's perspective, it can definitely show children that you may feel like your parent is favouring another child, but that's probably not the case. And from the parent's perspective, it can provide some food for thought, just to kind of remind them that your actions towards other children may impact your own child, particularly if they're, feeling insecure, as Prunella was. So it's definitely providing some good food for thought. Obviously, it's a great advert for yoga as well. There is some terminology, there are some yoga poses named, which I think is a very good beginning. If this was a child's introduction to yoga, I think it's clear that they can understand what's going on, what yoga is like, without feeling like there are too many complicated words. I think maybe downward dog, I think sun salutation, half lotus. I think there were a couple of others. A lot of the very kind of beginner yoga poses were mentioned, which I think is the best way forward. I think it's a really well written, well animated, of course, episode with some pretty good messages in it. And if it, as a bonus, encourages anybody to take an interest in yoga, that's not a bad thing either.